ASVAB Paragraph Comprehension Test Number 3. Grammar Hero. You now have 22 minutes to answer 11 questions. China, located in East Asia, was thought to be populated by humans somewhere between 30,000 and 50,000 years ago. The earliest piece of pottery was found in a cave, dating back some 18,000 years, which is the oldest pottery ever found. Farming is believed to have started around 7,000 years ago with the farming of rice as well as a grain called millet. As more food was generated in the area, so too did the population of the area. It was the powerful families that started civilization in the area, creating the leadership. The leaders that rose from this time in ancient China formed powerful family governments known as dynasties. Most people who study the past agree that civilization in China began around the Yellow River sometime around 2000 BCE. China's culture from this time is unique compared to other civilizations of the time, ancient Egypt, India, and Mesopotamia, because the culture stayed largely the same as today's culture. The other nations fell into chaos, disappear, or conquered by invading nations. The first dynasty to rise was known as the Xia dynasty, 2000 BCE, 1600 BCE. With a reign of nearly 500 years, it contained 17 emperors, which were the Chinese equivalent of kings, as well as the Xia people who were the farmers of the land. Silk, a material made from taking apart silkworm cocoons and one of the most important creations in China, was discovered to be produced around this time, though there are thoughts that it came before this time even. Some historians do not believe that the Xia dynasty was real, thinking that they were just myths and exaggerated stories, though there have been archaeological discoveries supporting the existence of the dynasty. The next dynasty that rose was known as the Shang dynasty, 1600 BCE, 1046 BCE, which was originally a clan, or a large group of close families seen as one big family, living along the Yellow River. The Shang conquered the Xia lands, and lasted 600 years spanning 30 emperors. They left behind many writing on turtle shells and a wide variety of bones known as oracle bones. These bones were heated up and the cracks in them showed the Shang people what the gods wanted, which is known as divination. One of the many contributions the Shang dynasty were new ways of crafting bronze. There have been thousands of bronze artifacts found, some weighing close to 2,000 pounds. But as all empires do, they fell to another clan known as the Zhou clan. Stemming from 1046 BCE until 256 BCE, the Zhou dynasty lasted the longest of any Chinese dynasty. It is a period divided into two, known as Western Zhou and Eastern Zhou due to a brief power struggle. This was the first time the Chinese dealt with invading Mongolians from the north, so they built the original concept for the Great Wall of China. The Zhou invented crossbows, which were feared by all enemies, and iron was introduced to the area, starting the Iron Age in China. Two of China's most important philosophies were developed at this time as well. The first is known as Confucianism, which is based around the teachings of the philosopher Confucius. It centers around people being able to rise to any task if they do the right thing, and that family was the most important part of one's life. The next was Taoism, which was founded by a man known as Laozi. Taoists believe that living a humble life with nature and without too many possessions was the path to enlightenment, a term to describe the feeling of fully understanding life. These were not religions, as the mandate of heaven was enforced, which was a law that stated the emperors had heaven on their side while ruling the people. The Zhou kingdom states became more and more powerful, and by 475 BCE they rebelled against the central government. It was a 200-year conflict, known as the Warring States period. Only one family could come out on top, which was the Qin family, and this signaled the end of ancient China, bringing in the age of imperial China. 1. Which of the following was not farmed in ancient China? A. Silk. B. Corn. C. Rice. D. Millet. 2. How many emperors made up the Xia dynasty? A. 17. B. 30. C. 15. D. 10. 3. Which of the following dynasties originally wrote down their history on oracle bones? A. Xia. B. Zhou. C. Tao. D. Shang. 4. Which of the following was the longest lasting dynasty? A. Tao. B. Xia. C. Zhou. D. Shang. 5. Which of the following was invented by the Zhou and was feared by their enemies? A. Crossbow. B. Iron-tipped weapons. C. Bronze-tipped weapons. D. Walls. 6. Which of the following was not a part of the Zhou dynasty time period? A. Mandate of Heaven. B. Oracle bones. C. Taoism. D. Confucianism. If you need to refer back to the text, please click the link in the description of this video. Fever, chills, cough, body aches and more are some of the symptoms of influenza, or often called the flu. It is caused by the influenza virus, which is a microorganism and is so small, you need a powerful microscope to see it. The flu infects the respiratory system, which is made up of the nasal passages, larynx, trachea, bronchial tubes, and lungs. The system, when working properly, allows a person to breathe and exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide throughout the body. In most cases, when the respiratory system is not working properly, a person may simply have a common cold, but other times it may be the flu or influenza virus. There are two main types of flu or the influenza virus called influenza A and influenza B. Influenza A is the group that most commonly causes illnesses in humans and is broken down into H and N subtypes, with 16 H subtypes and 9 N subtypes. The most contagious combinations causing nearly all outbreaks of the flu are H1N1, H2N2, H3N2. The strains are also named using the origin, geographical location, strain number, and the year of discovery of the virus. Nearly all major flu pandemics, spreads worldwide, in modern history have been caused by influenza A. Influenza B is less common but may still cause outbreaks of seasonal flu and have similar symptoms. The virus is not broken down into subtypes but by individual strains. When either influenza virus attacks the respiratory system, the symptoms include a high fever usually over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, a cough, sore throat, stuffy or a runny nose, muscle pain, and weakness. The flu is a contagious illness, meaning it can be spread from person to person by coughing and sneezing. The virus can easily spread through the air and onto surfaces. When a person coughs or sneezes, virus-containing droplets from the person's mouth travel through the air and can be breathed in by another person, or the droplets land on surfaces. In addition, if a person with the flu sneezes or coughs into their hands and then touches something, the virus will remain on that item for a long time. A person who would touch the surface later could get the virus on their hand, touch their mouth, nose, or eyes, and then the virus could enter their body and could get the flu as well. About every 10 years, the flu virus goes through major changes and many people can get severe cases. The large-scale outbreaks are called epidemics, and when they are worldwide, they are called pandemics. For example, the swine flu outbreak in 2009 to 2010 was epidemic and pandemic. The body of the person who is exposed to the flu virus will go through an incubation period. First, Once the person is exposed, the virus tries to invade a cell in your respiratory system. Once it gets into a cell, it multiplies rapidly and clones itself many times while damaging the host cell. The newly made viruses leave the damaged cell and begin invading other healthy cells. The process continues, and the virus spreads quickly throughout the body. The incubation period may last 2 or more days to reproduce enough, leading to the appearance of a variety of symptoms. A person can spread the virus to others during the incubation period, and then spread it about 5 to 7 days after they first get the symptoms. In the US, the flu season is usually between October and May, when millions of people come down with the flu each year. People of all age groups get the flu, but kids get the flu most often. Most likely, getting the flu is not serious, but older adults and young children and people with other medical conditions often become more seriously ill. In some cases, the flu strain could be much worse and can cause death. People who do get the flu should stay home from work or school, rest, and drink lots of liquids, which includes drinks without caffeine. Sometimes medications like acetaminophen or ibuprofen can help with fever and aches, but it is important not to take aspirin, which can make matters worse. In addition, antibiotics usually do not work on the virus and will not help someone get better. The best prevention of the flu is a vaccine. A flu vaccine is available as a shot and contains dead flu viruses. The body is tricked into believing it has the real flu, and it makes new antibodies to fight off an infection if the person comes in contact with the live or real flu virus. Most people do not have a negative reaction to the flu vaccine but may notice a fever, sore muscles, and tiredness. 7. Which of the following systems of the body is most affected by influenza? A. Respiratory. B. Circulatory. C. Nervous. D. Digestive. 8. Which of the following is the most common influenza virus? A. Influenza A. B. Influenza B. C. Influenza C. D. Influenza D. 9. Large-scale outbreaks of flus are which of the following? A. Pandemics. B. Epidemics. C. Vaccines. D. All the above. 10. Which of the following amount of time is associated with the incubation period for the flu? A. 5 to 7 days. B. 2 or more days. C. 1 day. D. 1 week. 11. Strains of a flu may also be named based on which of the following? A. Origin. B. Geographical location. C. Year of virus discovery. D. All the above. If you need to refer back to the text, please click the link in the description of this video. Answer key: 1B, 2A, 3D, 4C, 5A, 6B, 7A, 8A, 9B, 10B, 11D.
Konnichiwa.